Any other player, the way John has played, would have won the title this year, but this man has been awesome.
Choose shots, choose pots. Long red thump. Hail the new 62. King, Judd Trump.
I like that, Alan. Even if the red doesn't go in, I think John Higgins will come forward, puts his cue down to congratulate Judd Trump. Absolutely incredible performance from Judd Trump to win his first World Championship. But he will be crowned the 2019 Betfred World Champion. Congratulations to Judd and all his family.
Quality of snooker we have ever seen in a Crucible final. A record-breaking 2 days. And both of these amazing players have played their part. John, if I can come to you first. Wow. Judd Trump, world champion at last. How does that sound?
Incredible. I can't put it into words. I've worked so hard for this, and just for the people around me is so special.
And to win it the way you played in a record-breaking final, I wonder how much pride you take in that performance today, Judd.
Yeah, it was an amazing final. I think the standard from the very first session, the very first ball. John is such a great player. I always seem to raise my game and still don't beat him. Every time I play him, I play amazing, and he beats me every time. So, yeah, that's probably the best I ever played in sort of a major final. And I still didn't feel relaxed coming into the session tonight. I think I've lost some big leads against him in the past, and like the standard he was playing, and I was just, yeah, it was, I don't know, I can't put it into words how well I played, and that's what you've got to do to beat John. And it's amazing to obviously for him to reach 3 finals. He's won 4. Every time I play him, I just try and learn as much as possible. He's without doubt the top, if not the greatest, one of the greatest to ever play the game. And yeah, I've always looked up to him.
Well said, John. But Judd, that incredible peak performance burst out of you with the 8 frames in a row last night. And I just wonder, the Judd Trump of 2011 who was losing to John in this very arena, how much work has it taken for you to be standing here now as champion?
I've had to really sort of go away and rebuild my game. I think I did feel very confident in the final, so I tried to play as similar as I did to the last one, but just with obviously a bit more safety when I needed it. But I think a special thanks to my brother who moved up with me at the start of this season, and a massive help, obviously, and I think he's one of the reasons why I've done so well this season. And a special mention to my family that have always believed me and always helped me to get here.
It's a great moment for them too, obviously, but I just wonder, Judd, when you were a little boy and you've been a world champion and waiting for a very long time, we've been waiting for this moment on your behalf, what was it that first inspired your desire to be a world champion, and who was it?
My dad. My dad's the biggest snooker fan in the world. He watches every single game every time it's on TV, so it's just inspiring to see his motivation in snooker. And there's been some tough times, some bad losses, but I think just the inspiration to really win it for him is what got me through.
And I tell you what, it's not just the world title, ladies and gentlemen, because Judd tonight becomes the 11th man into the Triple Crown Club, a career Triple Crown, the UK, the Masters, and now the world title itself. I tell you what, you're in very good company, aren't you?
It's an incredible achievement for me from where I was at sort of the start of the season. I think I hadn't been doing that well for the past season or two. My brother came up and been practicing harder than ever, and the results have really paid off this season.
And I tell you what, he's also the first player to cross the £1 million prize money mark this season. Drinks on Judd this evening, is it?
I might get the first round in.
We might hold you to that. Judd, what a pleasure it's been. to watch you and to watch John in possibly the greatest final of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, please salute your champion, Mr. Judd Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party, Mark Stebbings, Managing Director of Betfred, and Barry Hearn, Chairman of World Snooker. The runner-up, receiving the silver medal and a cheque for £200,000. What a champion, what a player, and what a run to yet another final, John Higgins. And the winner tonight, fulfilling a lifelong dream, receiving a cheque for £500,000, the trophy and the title, 2019 Betfred World Snooker Champion, Judd Trump. Your champion, Judd Trump.
And there he is, a new champion for a new generation. The first man in his 20s, since a certain Neil Robertson in 2010, to win it in his 20s. It really is a positive for snooker. John and Steve, it could mean a new era for snooker. We were talking about this at the Masters, and I wonder how much of a force for good for the game this man is.
Well, it certainly is, and on that performance, listen, he won the Masters, and I said there in the studio at the time, I said if he plays like that, he could win the World Championships. What he did was usurp that performance at the Masters. That's as good as he can possibly play. I mean, I didn't know he was that good, I'm being honest with you. I had no idea he was that good. What he showed me there was just sensational.
What's it going to do for kids, Steve, watching him try backhanded shots and power his way around the table playing superhuman stuff?
Well, I think, you know, you need to be inspired by the standard of that final, Hazel, quite rightly. It may have been the greatest standard we've ever seen. It may not have been from both players, it may not have been close, but the actual overall standard was astonishing. And he was the brunt of it.
Yeah, he certainly was. And there he is. There's one for the family album, as we always say. And his manager, Django Fung, on the end there. Georgina and Steve, his mum and dad, and Jack, his brother. He's been a world champion in waiting for a long time, guys, as I said out there. English under-15 champion at 10 years of age. Youngest to make a competitive maximum at 14. Third youngest to appear at the Crucible. It's his 10th campaign to try and win this thing. And I just wonder, in particular, what's he had to change? What's he had to develop over the last 8 years or so in order to fulfil this?
A slight more appreciation of when to play a safety shot. That was all.
Well, we have been enthralled by this year's Betfred World Snooker Championship, and I'm standing next to the man who has the title, the trophy, and 500 big ones in his pocket. Judd, there's so many people delighted for you to get over the line and to do it in such style against one of the all-time greats. Life just doesn't get any better than this.
Speechless, really. It hasn't sunk in. I think I'm going to have to watch it back about 100 times for it to really sink in. I think obviously the standard that we both played in the final was incredible to break the century record. There wasn't a lot of missed balls in the whole game, and every time I play, I know that I really have to sort of play to the best of my ability to even get close to him. So to be able to beat him in that manner in a major final was incredible.
And it looked as though that was your mindset when you came out. You thought, this guy is one of the hardest to beat. Mentally, he's so tough. He's won it 4 times. You came out determined to go for everything. We saw some of those long pots going in, like the old days in 11.
Yeah, I think they started to come back. I think the feeling was coming back of the 11 final, just being able to play really relaxed in the final as well. I felt very calm compared to the rest of the tournament. I felt everything was there really for me in that game. Everything was going right, and the shots were coming off. And I think the very first session I was able to stay with him 4-4, which was massive. I think he played very well in that one, and then to pull away overnight was obviously very important for me. But even today, I wasn't relaxed. The afternoon session was incredible again. He didn't barely miss a ball, and I was just able to just sort of nick 4-4 again. And obviously tonight it was going to be an uphill task for him, but I think if anyone could have done it, it would have been him.
People who follow snooker have been talking about you as a potential world champion for a long time. And as the years progressed, did you feel more pressure each time you came back to the Crucible, that people have been expecting you to deliver for a long time? But it's all well and good other people talking about it. You have to survive for 17 days. Were you getting to a stage where you thought, I don't know where this first maiden title's coming from?
Yeah, I think this is probably the year that I've least expected to win. I think I always come in very confident, but I think I know how hard it is to win over this sort of distance, and to continuously play well for so long is so hard. And obviously the way I started the tournament wasn't great, and I managed to sort of build up and my best come out in the final. So for me, it kind of worked out in the right way. Just started off scrappy and played amazing towards the end.
What was so nice in your speech with Hazel Irvine live on the BBC, you were talking, first of all, you paid tribute to your brother. That has been a key part of this being by far the most successful season you've had on tour in your career so far.
Yeah, I think a special mention for him. I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I have this season without him. I think the stuff that we've been working on, and just the hours of dedication, and having him there in the hotel room, and just day-to-day life with him has been so much easier this season, and it's paid off in my results.
Right, come on. What's he on, 10%? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You certainly owe him a few pints. And the other really great moment when Hazel asked you who your inspiration was, quick as a flash, you said your dad. He has such a quiet presence around the tour. He's not someone who courts publicity and tries to live vicariously through you, but he's always there. He's been there since day one, and that must have been so emotional for you to have that hug with him at the end and just say, yeah, thanks, Dad. I've done it for the whole family and for you.
Yeah, it was getting pretty emotional in the interview. It was just trying to hold back, and for my dad, obviously he's the biggest snooker fan in the world, and he watches every single game on TV. And just to be able to do it with him in the arena, and my mum, after sort of the sacrifices they went through when they were younger, to sort of me be able to play every single weekend, travelling across the country, working 2 jobs and stuff like that. So for them to be able to put me in this position is amazing.
And I understand his 60th's coming up soon, so you really wanted to do it for him in the year that he has the big milestone birthday, and you've done it.
Yeah, he's 60 on the 17th of May, so I think that's going to be amazing for him. It's probably the most special birthday he's ever going to get.
Well done, Judd. It's been an absolute pleasure. No matter what you do or where you go, you'll always be able to say you're a world snooker champion. Well done, mate.